The series begins with a high-ranking official getting into an accident. Later, this accident was arranged by the far-right party of the East to start a war with Astalas. The best agent, Twilight, is sent on a mission. He finishes his next task at the railway station, dusk. He receives a message with a cipher. It is necessary to get closer to the head of the People's United Party, Donovan Desmond, who threatens the reproach between the West and the East. For this task, Twilight needs to have a wife and children undercover, with which it will be possible to carry out the mission. Operation Clear will affect further relations between the West and the East, making the mission catastrophically important. Twilight takes on the task. He buys an apartment and changes his official name and education. Now he's Dusk, a psychiatrist. Lloyd Forger, next Lloyd, goes to an orphanage where he adopts a telepathic girl named Anya. She was a secret social experiment in which she acquired the ability to read minds. After Lloyd brings the girl home, she creates some problems, making him late to see his informant named Frankie Franklin. She also found his secret means of communication, so she was kidnapped. Upon returning home, Lloyd deals with the bandits who found him out because of Anya's tricks, and then goes to save the girl. Lloyd, wearing the mask of one of the bandits, saves Anya on the day of the school entrance exam, which Anya passed thanks to training with Lloyd. Now, for the second exam stage, Anya must pass an interview where both parents participate. Now, Lloyd urgently needs to find a wife. Next, we are introduced to a girl named Yor who recently started working as a clerk at City Hall Berlinta. One of the employees named Camilla invites Yor to a party at the end of the week. Before leaving, Camilla says, "You'll come with a guy in the evening after work." Yor talks on the phone with her brother, Yuri Breyer, who starts a conversation about his sister's marriage. Yor lies to her brother, and now she urgently needs to find a couple. During the holiday, the next call, Yor finds out about the new order, as, in addition to working as a clerk, she is a professional assassin, the Princess of Thorn. Not much later, Lloyd goes to the seamstress to take measurements for his daughter. In this place also comes Yor. They both find each other exciting and suitable for their missions but can't make the first move. At this point, the problem is resolved by Anya, who has read their thoughts and resolved the issue. After Yor explains the situation to Lloyd, he agrees to go to the party with her as her man and also asks her to pretend to be Anya's mother at the school interview. The day comes to pretend to be a guy, and Yor thinks that he left her and goes to the party alone. Camilla humiliates her, but when Lloyd, who was on a secret mission and was late, suddenly arrives, he says his patient is raging. Camilla is surprised that Yor is married and wants to embarrass her in front of everyone, but Lloyd intervenes in the situation and politely prevents unpleasant consequences, after which they all leave the event. On the way back, the pair is chased by smugglers, from whom Lloyd and Yor fight back without any problems and decide to extend the temporary marriage contract further. Yora is moving into the house with Lloyd and Anya. Anya showed all the rooms, including hers. They have dinner together and discuss the upcoming interview. Lloyd wants to test their education and asks simple questions, but Anya and Yor can't answer anything intelligible. Lloyd suggests taking a walk. They visit high society places, an opera house, and an art museum during the walk. Anya still reads the thoughts of her parents and behaves strangely. After going to the tailor's, they go to the photo studio to take a family photo. Over lunch at a restaurant, Lloyd worries about his mission, but Yor offers to go out and relax. At the right moment, a family sees an older woman's bag of money stolen from a hillock. At this point, Yor rushes in pursuit of the thief but misses him. Meanwhile, Lloyd and Anya watch the intruder disappear into the crowd. Anya uses her abilities to track down the thief, hinting to Lloyd about his location. Lloyd looks in the right direction, notices an unusual gait in one of the people, and so far Yor looks after Anya. He neutralizes the intruder. The victim thanks the family, and they return home. There, Lloyd and Anya once again rehearse the interview, and this time Anya already knows what to say. Carefully prepared, the family goes to the Eden School for an interview, Upon arrival, Lloyd notices a close watch on the families. The teachers evaluate visitors for elegance and pay attention to their gait and behavior. Lloyd quickly realizes that the exam has already begun and, having warned his family about it, is fully prepared for any unexpected events. The commandant, Henry Henderson, immediately notices the forager family and admires their manners, obsessed with elegance even in the interview itself. Forager holds up very well, unlike the previous family, but at one point, one of the examiners, Murdoch Swan, begins to ask tactless questions, one of which was a question to Anya and sounded like a choice between the biological mother and the current one. Lloyd goes berserk as Anya starts crying. He elegantly smashes the table into splinters and leaves with the family. Henry is charmed by the family's determination, and after they go, he puts a fellow provocateur in his place. At home, Lloyd and the others are very worried that they won't pass the test but still hope that Henry and another examiner named Walter Evans will help. The following day, the family goes to check the list of applicants, but earlier at home, they are haunted by bad omens. A black cat crossed the road, but then it turns out that Anya still did not pass the selection. Frustrated, Forager is already going home when Henry suddenly appears, saying that the girl has expired and is first on the waiting list. She will undoubtedly be received as soon as one of the applicants is expelled. Yor starts to think about killing the father of one of the students but quickly comes to her senses. After some time, at home, Lloyd learns about his daughter's enrollment from a phone call. The family is happy and celebrating this event. As a reward, Anya wants to play spy, and the informant, Frankie, who also came to celebrate, persuades Lloyd to fulfill the girl's request. By this time, Yor was already very drunk. Next, using encryption, Lloyd organizes an event to which many agents are called. The family flies by plane to the castle where Frankie plays the role of the villain who kidnapped Princess Anya. Lloyd himself turns into Lloydman, who should save her. Extras from the agents try to detain the hero, but he defeats everyone. The last obstacle is Yor, who played a witch in a drunken state. After she beats up Lloyd for a while, she quickly falls asleep. Then the hero gets to the princess and makes an awkward speech. Anya is very pleased with this event, and the evening ends with fireworks. The next day, the family comes to the studio to sew a school uniform for Anya. After 5 days, the clothes are ready, and Anya and Yor go to pick them up. This time without Lloyd, as he had things to do. Lloyd goes to a secret hideout where he meets with a female supervisor who informs him about the school system. In the meantime, Yor and Anya pick up their uniforms and go to the grocery store. On the way home, they are noticed by local bandits who kidnapped Anya at the moment when Yor lost sight of her daughter. Fortunately, Yor reacts quickly and saves her daughter. Upon arrival to enroll in the school, Lloyd thinks about a further plan of action. Anya needs to get closer to Damien Desmond, Donovan's son, which is the primary goal of the task. Then the children who have been admitted are introduced to the school. Reading Lloyd's thoughts, Anya knows about the plan and tries to get close to Damien, but he and his friends start humiliating the girl. At this point, Anya remembers her mother's lesson and smiles in the face of the offender, and a little later hits Damien in the jaw. This behavior was liked by one of the applicants named Becky Blackbell, who starts admiring Anya and becomes her friend. Afterwards, Henry, Anya's homeroom teacher, informs the forager couple that she will receive 1 tunnet instead of 3 tunnets as a favor for such behavior. Lloyd's plan gradually begins to crumble. If Anya gets 8 tunnets, the girl will be expelled, and relations with Damien are spoiled. The next day, Lloyd sends his daughter to school and asks her to apologize to Damien. Upon arrival, Anya meets Becky, and together they go to lessons where they meet Damien. Along the way, Anya tries to apologize, but Becky stops her from doing so, dragging her friend by the hand. Meanwhile, Damien is shocked because he has never been treated like this before. During the day, Lloyd followed his daughter and left her messages to convey the importance of an apology, but every time there was an opportunity to do this, Becky ruined any attempts. At this point, Anya was able to apologize. Still, the trio's thoughts brought her to tears, and Damien himself was imbued with the girl's sincerity and ran away unable to stand the emotions. At home, Lloyd takes lessons with Anya. The tasks are too complex for the girl, and Lloyd forbids her to watch the cartoon until they finish, making her even more depressed. Anya gets sick and shuts herself up in her room. At this point, Lloyd, after talking to his wife, realizes that he is not doing the right thing and then tries to apologize to his daughter. When he entered the room, he found that she was studying independently and had fallen asleep at the table. In the next scene, we see how Dominic, the guy Camilla meets with, Yuri Breyer. They talk about Yor, and Yuri is shocked to discover that she is already married. The next day at school, Anya answers the teacher's questions incorrectly. Meanwhile, Lloyd talks to the curator and can't hide that the mission is not progressing most favorably. Meanwhile, in Berlin, the State Security Service arrests an employee named Jim Hayward, suspected of selling information to the enemy. After being interrogated, Jim denies all the charges, but when Junior Lieutenant Yuri steps in, he cracks up and tells everything he knows. Yor informs the family that her brother is coming to visit Yuri in the evening. They quickly prepare to meet the guest who proved to him the truthfulness of their relationship. After Yuri arrives, a mental battle takes place between him and Lloyd in which they behave as usual but inside they think through plans to bring each other to light. Then Yuri gets drunk, and Lloyd notices that he is not so simple. In addition, Lloyd had previously learned that Yuri is a secret police operative and hides his real job from his sister. Yuri tells about his past with his sister who came home late from part-time work to feed her brother. He wants to believe that her husband can protect her as well as he can. After that, Lloyd says that he will protect her even from a meteorite. And since Yuri got drunk and lost his sanity next to Yor, he's starting to trust Lloyd a little bit. Suddenly, Yuri notices that the couple is shy about each other and asks them to kiss to make sure they are sincere. At this point, Lloyd turns on composure and begins to approach the target, Yor, who is entirely